on a silly roll.
Where we are live.
Well, according to mine. You seem to get the news before I do. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, or perhaps you're watching us into the future and we haven't quite arrived there yet. We're very grateful to have your company. No, it says it's not live. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry. Okay. So the thing is, everyone, I've been a little bit silly this morning and it's still affecting me. Carol Ann and I have had such fun before we've come onto the show to join you today. And it's a really great reminder about how important it is to just get a bit silly every now and again and let loose with a friend and just have some fun.
Yeah, definitely. Just to enjoy life. And at this time, it's really important for us to be able to have a good laugh and to just enjoy enjoy the silly things in life, you know, absolutely really silly things like pulling funny faces at one another on the screen and threatening to put a nail out in the waiting room and make a wait out there without being on screen or being able to talk, you know, like it's sort of a tempting thing occasionally, but then I remembered that Anaya's the host today, so she can do that to me.
I put you in the waiting room, apparently.
So we just would like to bring a little bit of fun and happiness as well as a bit of seriousness to you all today, because you know, it's really interesting where we all are in life. And I think that's the interesting thing, that we're all in the same position. So let's enjoy it. Let's
do that. So today's topic is, well, the title of the show is Trust and Allow. You may never know the why. And right now, this has become more important than ever for me personally, Carol Ann.
Yeah.
Because I think this weekend that's just passed, it's now Monday morning, the 13th of April in Australia. And so this weekend that's just passed was my 4th weekend in, I still haven't figured out a better term for self-isolation, for choosing to be home. I'm kind of starting to get used to it and kind of not. Yet at the same time, there are times through this period where trusting has been more challenging than other times, and allowing has been more allowing how I truly feel, Carol Ann, because I don't always feel silly and upbeat and having fun. Sometimes I feel really missing my family for a start.
Yeah, and this is it. You know, we need to acknowledge the fact that we're in a place, as everybody's saying, we've never been before. And so we just have to accept and allow that is where we are. And if we're having a little bit of a down moment, or if we're at the bottom of that roller coaster ride or bottom of the wave, whatever way you want to put it, we know that we're going to come back. So allow yourself to feel that emotion, come through that emotion, live that emotion. Don't be down on yourself. Just allow it to happen, because this is something different, and, you know, we're all in this together, and that's the important thing. So just allow the emotion to come up, acknowledge it, recognize it, trust it, because we're all going to come through this together, and that's what the important thing is. So it's about how you feel within. And so even if when you're feeling right down there, allow yourself to feel it. Don't go down on yourself. Allow yourself to feel it, because we're here in this lifetime to experience emotions. We're here to experience free will. That's another thing that we're blessed to have in this lifetime. So yeah, just allow it and trust, because who knows? We never know why some of these things happen, but trust.
Trust. And if you are in that position where you're finding it difficult to come out of that place, maybe you're feeling caught up in that place. So how do we get out of that place when we feel it, first of all, we can't make ourselves get out of it.
Mhm.
But I think the most powerful thing, the most powerful thing is find anything, I don't care what it is, anything that you're grateful for, and
Yeah.
acknowledge your gratitude. And when you've acknowledged your gratitude for that, it might be your glasses. Oh, look, I've got my glasses. I can see the screen clearly. It might be anything. And when you're done, find something else, find something else, find something else. It can be anything. It simply doesn't matter. And that energy of gratitude is a living, breathing, incredible being, all of its own. And as it begins to feel, as we begin to feel its presence, it lifts our energy up, it lifts us up, it lifts our perspective up, our mood, everything begins to change. Now, here's a little story I'd love to share, Carol Ann, and I've shared this with you. Some years ago, I was reading a book called The Magic. Great book to read right now, everyone, because it's a doing book. It's not a book that you sit there and read. You read a bit and you do. You read a bit and you do. It's amazing. Anyway, I was reading this book and I came to the part on gratitude, and I had to choose someone that I was grateful for. So I chose my mother because with mum at that stage, that was the most challenging relationship in my life. And I was very, very, very challenged where that relationship was concerned. And one of the things that had bothered me the most for a very long time was that mum had never said thank you to me for anything. She'd never acknowledged anything like that to me. And she wasn't a bad person. She wasn't a mean person. That was what was happening in our relationship. So I chose mum and I began to do the exercise. Well, blow me down. It was either the next day or the day after. Phone rings. I pick up the phone. Oh, hi, mum. She's just said, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. Talking to the angels really works. She just moved. She couldn't find a hairdryer. I didn't know where it was. I asked the angels. They showed me which box, got it out, and my hair looks great. So I saw instantly that every single relationship in my life was not actually about the other person at all.
No.
It was about the way I was experiencing my relationship with them. And was I experiencing it through gratitude, or was I experiencing it in a different way? And I'd been experiencing it in a very different way until then, until I began to experience it through gratitude. And that changed my life. It changed my relationship with my mum. I didn't know I was not going to have her for very much longer. So the last few years of mum's life was spent in a very, very different way. And I cannot tell you the depth of the gratitude I have that I made that decision when I made it and embraced it.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Yeah, and that expands is sort of also on the fact of not just the gratitude, but you didn't know you were only going to have your mum for
Years.
for a little few more years, and so by having that experiencing the gratitude and doing that exercise with your mum, that worked out. And so some of these things that happen to us, we never know why we react the way we do. We get the opportunity to do something like you had the workbook and you had the opportunity to use that workbook to do that exercise. And how beautiful that you were able to have that wonderful relationship with your mum for the rest of her days. And that was really, really wonderful. So yeah.
And the great thing was, it wasn't a perfect relationship. It was never a perfect relationship from then on in, because we learned through contrast. But what changed was the way that I approached what was happening in our relationship. So when something would come up that I would get really frustrated about, And of course, my good friend Chevelle was, you know, my earth angel and helped me see this in many different ways. That it was never about what mum was doing. It was always about how I was experiencing it. So, for example, you know, we'd go shopping and I'd say to mum, well, you know, I have to be finished by 12 because I've got an appointment or whatever it might be. And I'd be picking mum up and taking her home. She'd go to the shop and she would look at every item in all of the aisles that she was drawn to. And no matter how much I prodded mum, she wouldn't hurry. And she was a very slow walker. And I came home and I said to Chevelle, look, I'm just so frustrated and fed up. And he just said, love, he said, that's your mother's Aries moon coming out. It's not about changing your mum. It's about how you're going to move out of the space of wanting her to be someone she's not.
Mhm.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So the next time I said to mum, I've got to be finished by 12 o'clock, mum. And that means I've got to be in the car. So if you're not quite ready at that time, I'll call you a cab. So you just let me know if you want to be home by 12 or if you'd like me to call you a cab. Boom. Oh, no, I'll be finished. We'll go home together.
Yeah.
And she was. So
Yeah.
it was, again, it's that gratitude that in the background always operating. It's not about the other person. So
No.
people, and the reason I guess I'm sharing this with you guys so much today is, you know, there are a lot of people in close quarters with each other who aren't used to spending all this time together. And
No.
frustrations are bound to rise, you know, to the surface.
Yes, yes. And so these are the things that we just need to, if a frustration arises to the surface, don't react to it. You know, just allow a frustration to happen and just let it float away of its own accord. Because, you know, in these times, well, we were laughing. One of the things we also laughed about earlier was they're saying to people, you know, don't overeat, you know, don't close that fridge door. You're not hungry, you're just bored. And the other one I read the other day was from a nutritionist, and she was saying that people are compensating by having 3 or 4 afternoon teas, and then they'll sit down and have dinner at night and all the rest of it. And so I saw a cartoon that said, you know, we're going to come out of this isolation and we're all going to be about 3 times as big as we are now if we don't stop eating for comfort. So, you know, that once again is an emotion. We might be bored, so we think we're going to go and eat. We go and eat something sweet, or we go and eat something we don't normally eat just for something different to do. When, you know, in reality, there's so many things we can do if those frustrations arise. I've spent a couple of hours this morning out in the garden digging some holes, pulling weeds and putting some new beautiful bromeliads in the garden that I was given yesterday. And so, you know, there's lots of things we can do thinking outside of the square. But I do have to say, though, I've also spent some hours binging on Netflix. But, you know, don't be down.
That's fine.
There's so many things. And yesterday we did a Zoom session with my family, and my granddaughter does ballet, and she, the Australian Ballet Company is putting a lot of their ballets online. Just look up the Australian Ballet Company, and the other day they did Swan Lake, and she said, and Kaylin went and she put on her best dress and everything, and then she sat down and watched Swan Lake. So, you know, she wasn't sitting watching it in a dingy old, not that she has dingy old shorts, but in a casual gear. And so she made an event out of it. Yeah. And so I also know that Andrew Lloyd Webber is putting all his musicals online. And each of his musicals go up on YouTube for 48 hours. So, you know, take yourself to the theatre. Yeah. Get yourself a glass of wine.
Dress up, as Caroline said. Yeah.
We don't have to continually think, oh, what am I going to do today? There's so many things to do. Pick up that book that you've been waiting to read. You know, we can think outside of the square and allow yourself to sort of have a little bit of fun and make the most of the idea. Don't, you know, it's about also about routines and things. You know, when you get out of bed, have your breakfast, clean your teeth, have a shower, get dressed, put your makeup on. To which my husband said, well, I don't put makeup on. I said, no, but that's when you can have a shave. That can be part of your routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first part of my routine is meditating. So, you know, that to me is a big thing too. So there's so many things that we can do not to be bored.
So let's just say when frustrations come up, you find that difficult to flow with that. So again, that's when you go to gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Trust and allow that gratitude will take you out of that nosedive. Be prepared to put the time in. It might take you half an hour. Be prepared to do that. And the other day I was in a space, Carol Ann, where I just couldn't settle to anything. Everything. I didn't watch anything. I just don't want to do anything. And I was just in one of those. Ugh. And then I remembered this really cool exercise that you do. So I felt like this, right? That's how I felt. It's true. I did. So I went, fake smile it. And all of a sudden, the chemistry in your brain starts clicking over because you're smiling. It really does. And then all of a sudden you'll be going, oh, that feels a bit better. Keep smiling until you feel an actual smile come up. It might seem like a silly thing to do, particularly if you're feeling a bit down, but it works because your brain does not know, your subconscious does not know the difference between a fake smile and a real smile.
No.
So fake, and that's where the old thing, fake it till you make it, comes from. It's a sales pitch.
Yep.
You
And the
fake
thing
it
is,
till you make it. If you're scared, you smile.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It takes over. And all of a sudden, I thought, oh, gee, I feel better now.
Yeah.
And I was doing real smiles, right? Real smiles. Hey, I do feel better. So that's another really great thing you can do. And yes, it feels a bit silly, particularly when you're really feeling blah. And I was.
Yeah.
I was missing my family. And that is influencing the vibration of the air around you even. And so even the very vibration of the air molecules around you start to pick up as well. And the air you breathe in feels better. You breathe more deeply. So it's not about denying where you are, but it's not getting stuck in it.
No.
So it's finding the tool that works for you. And you may not know the why of why you feel that. Yes, you might not be seeing your friends, family, etc. But there may be something much deeper at play here, as I have found out recently, and we're going to share that on another time. The staggering realization I've had. But no, I think that's something to share at another time and just focus on that because it's huge and it might be a really great assistance to you. So get yourself pen and paper, open up your laptop, whatever you've got, get your iPad, open a document, whatever. I don't care what it is. Write it in the sand. It doesn't matter. Write it in the dirt. It doesn't matter. Just write down what you are grateful for. And in Rhonda Byrne's, again, her fabulous book called The Magic, she actually does it slightly differently. When you write down, I'm grateful for, you add because. You write, why are you grateful for it? And it opens it up, and all of a sudden, it's a bigger experience of gratitude. Oh, I didn't realize I was grateful for that because of that, or I don't know why I'm grateful for it. It's an invitation. Why am I grateful? Why am I grateful for the curtain that I'm looking at right now, for example? Well, actually, I'm really grateful for that curtain because it's a sheer curtain. So all the light comes in, but it gives me some privacy. It also filters the light. It makes me look so much more together on camera. It is true. I'm not even kidding. I love the way the breeze picks it up and just moves it about. It reminds me of a fairy dance. There are so many reasons to be grateful for that sheer curtain. It's white. I love white. I adore white. It's an amazing thing to suddenly realize some of the reasons why I'm grateful for that curtain. And I bet you I could think of more.
Yeah. And this is it. When we allow ourselves to look at it differently and express our gratitude, it just expands out even more and expands out even more. And as you say, your energy is lifted when we express our gratitude, and that flows out to everyone and everything around you. And so, yeah, when we stop and think about what we're grateful for, it's like, I'm looking at my glass of water. And so I'm grateful that I have this glass to have my water in. I'm grateful for the water to give me revitalizing my cells and all of my energy, and which I think something I need, they just said to remind everyone, make sure we drink plenty of water at this time. I'm grateful for the water that I was able to put on the garden when I just planted some new bromeliads. I'm grateful for when it rains, the water from the rain, and when I look out at the leaves and the water is just sitting on the leaves and it's just sparkling with rainbows and beautiful energy. And there's so many things that we can expand when we talk about what we're grateful for. And gratitude is just, there's that saying, the attitude of gratitude. And this is it. It is an attitude, and it is how we feel and what we're reflecting out to the world. So gratitude is a wonderful thing, and I think it's a great something that you could do if you're looking for something to do for a little while. You think, oh, this will only take me 10 minutes to what I'm grateful for, but you'll be amazed at how much you are grateful for when you start thinking about it. Your bed, you could probably think of a dozen things about your bed that you're grateful for. So it's just a wonderful exercise, and just allow the messages to come to you for what you're grateful for.
And the expansion of it, how you start off thinking you're grateful for one thing and realizing, like you just did, you demonstrated that so clearly. There was the glass, and then to the water, and then the water to the rain, to the garden. It expanded and it opened itself up at just like you see a beautiful flower and you see all those petals curled in and they begin to open, and every petal is just so exquisite. It's exactly like that with gratitude. So that's a really powerful thing for you to do right now. Oh, dang it. Something I wanted to share and I forgot it. Never mind. Must have been vital. That's all I can say. Vitally important to share today.
It's vital to laugh. It's vital.
Yes, it is. It is. Have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, and sometimes, as Anaya said earlier, when you're in a situation that's not really funny, just sort of turn it around. Give yourself a little internal smile, and then let it rise up slowly. So then it starts to form on your face, and then you start to smile. And you can be looking at this exact same situation from a completely different aspect. So just allow that to happen. We don't know why any of these things happen for us, but if we trust and allow them to happen, it'll sort itself out, because we're meant to be here at this time. This is what we've been leading up to. So just trust and allow.
Yeah.
It's great. Just a sort of a slightly different thing about, you may never know why.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes when you might be driving somewhere. This is an easy example, so I'll give you this one. You're driving somewhere and you have the same way you travel to get to this destination every single time you go there. And for some reason, you made the decision, I'll go a slightly different way today. You're going to get to the same destination, and you may never, ever know why you got the message to go a different way. But there's always a reason that you've got that message to go a different way. So by trusting and allowing that to happen, that's the way it is. I know I've done that several times, and there's been a really bad accident the way I would normally have gone. So, occasionally you do find out why. Most of the time, you don't. But just trust and allow.
Yeah.
You never never know why.
Yeah. It happened to me when I was in my 20s. I was going from one side of Melbourne to the other, and it was peak hour traffic. So it was like, and I'm slowly making my way, and I'm slowly getting closer and closer to my destination. And all of a sudden, clear as a bell, I know, turn around, go home. And I'm like, what do you mean? I've sat in traffic for an hour to get this far. What do you mean? And I just heard, turn around and go home. So there's traffic either way, right? So how do you do that? All of a sudden, we move a little bit, and I see coming up, there's a side street. So I put my indicator on. I turned around. People opened up, let me in. And I went home. And I, to this day, have no idea why. But the point is, I don't need to know why, even though my controlling brain says, oh, you probably could have kept going. Had I have kept going, the outcome could have been very, very different. The rest of it doesn't even matter.
No.
And that taught me so profoundly that sometimes we will never know why. And that is the important thing, because the acceptance of that is bringing us a lot of opportunities. And one of the big opportunities, it's letting go of all the ways we try and control our day, the outcome, others, ourselves. Sometimes it's set up to help us let go of control. And in letting go of control, we become much more connected to our intuitive inner wisdom.
Yes. That is a big lesson when we're stepping fully into our intuition and our spiritual world. But even just if you're not wanting to step fully into a spiritual world, just listening to your intuition and allowing that to happen, listening to what they're telling you, that's really important about letting go and controlling, and then that's going to allow your intuition, etc., to grow.
And it helps us at times like this when there is so much that we simply can't control. I mean, control is an illusion anyway. We think we're controlling things, and really we're not.
No.
We've seen now that this is exactly true.
Yes.
However, what we can control are the choices that we make about where we're going to put our attention and our energy.
Yes.
So when you're having a day like I was having the other day, where I simply could not settle to any darn thing for any amount of time, and nothing held my attention or my interest, and I did the fake smile until I actually smiled. Once I did that, boom, there I was. Oh, okay, I might go do this now.
Yep.
And like you say, routine. Put a little bit of routine into the day, because I'm flat out knowing what day it is half the time. Because being home for so long, but making sure that, one of the other big things, tea and toast. Good God, I love cups of tea and toast. I just love it. So a couple of days there, I've had toast for breakfast, which is not breakfast at all. It's a fill-up of carbs. And I noticed that I just was then hungry for sugar all day long. And I was hungry for food all day long. So then I realized, okay, so what I can do is I can actually make the choice to have a proper breakfast. And I've done that today, and I feel full and satisfied.
Yeah.
So, and, maybe I'll have some toast another day for a morning tea or something.
Yeah.
Just
toast at night because, toast at night because then you're going to go to sleep. So,
toast at night, it too much carbs for me. It makes my tummy feel bleh. But, again, it's a personal thing. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. And it's time for a card. Ooh, upside down. Okay. What does an upside down card signify to me? It's different for different people. When I get a card that is upside down, I understand that the message on this card, once I pay attention to it, and once I move with it, the energy will become much easier, right? So it might be a stop and start energy at the moment. So right now, this is for all of us. And the card reads, you have healing hands. Look at this. Archangel Raphael's with us. And again, Michelle Newton. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you will find Michelle Newton at michellenewton.com. Now, it's set on wrong glasses. When I have to pull it too far away, it's like a little signal, isn't it? It's like a little sign. I need to change glasses. The angels acknowledge that you have unique healing talents and abilities. Yes, you do. And it's no point saying you don't. When we deny this, we are in our wound, and we are being called to heal our wounds. And again, we've got to do that show about healing my wounds. Your magical prowess is required in service. Right. So what can you do? All right. Sometimes I simply hold my hands out and I can feel that beautiful energy, and I just imagine the world, or I imagine whatever. And I know that I'm sending, just giving a blessing for this beautiful energy, giving thanks, again, gratitude, and then hold my hands out. I can feel the activation. I do this to my microwave all the time because it's a very, very old microwave, and it stopped working. It would just, so I thought, okay, what am I going to do? I don't really want to buy a new microwave. I only use it for reheating my cup of tea. I'll just give it some Reiki. Boom, works every time. Yep. So whether you've got something in the home that's not working so well, it could be an object, it could be yourself, it could be a plant, it could be an animal, it can be the world, a situation, an event. Do this for your government.
Yes.
Help them make wise and compassionate choices. We don't tell them what to do. So this is a really powerful card, this one. You have healing hands, and you do. And if you're saying you don't, well, guess what? You do. You've already been shown that. That's the aqua. That's the aqua feather. It's very easy to deny. Let me just grab this meaning as well, because there may be some other things in there that the card would like to express to different people. Okay. Here's an affirmation for you. Again, thank you, Michelle Newton. I have healing hands. I am a healer. I am a channel for divine grace. Now, a healer means different things to different people. For me, I am a healer, but I don't heal other people. I don't heal anyone. To me, that's what God does. But I open myself up to be the divine channel only for God's healing light. I'm very specific about that. God, creator, whatever term. Other symbols are give creative expressions to ideas, medicine, optimism, practical outcomes, safe travel. Now, this is interesting, especially at sea. If you know anyone who was on a ship who's been quarantined, send them this energy. Complementary therapies, animal healing, protection, earth and world healing, all the things we've spoken about. There you go. Use that lovely healing energy that you were blessed with. You are blessed with in a way that serves mankind. That's what's needed right now.
Good. It is important to remember.
You know how they do this so often when they're really happy with that I've shared something, they tickle my notes. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. That's enough. Carol-Ann?
To me, it's very important because, you know, I believe that as Reiki channels, this is what we are. We're just a conduit for the energy, and the energy is coming from God, from spirit. So we don't believe, we don't say, I healed this person. We were purely a conduit for the energy, just like the water coming through the hose. The hose is the conduit for the water. We're the conduit for the energy. And I think to myself how blessed I am to be able to be that conduit for the energy, because everybody has that within themselves. They don't necessarily have to have been attuned to Reiki, but we've both been attuned to Reiki and we realise the benefits of it. And yeah, it's just awesome. And I think that to be able to be even a child, you know, you see a child and another one falls over and they rush over and they cuddle them and they put their hands on them. They're channeling the healing energy to help that child. And so we all have that gift within us. And this is another part of just allowing our natural gifts that have come from God, really, to come through. And, you know, it's just such a wonderful world that we live in. It really is, even in this time of staying at home and doing all of these things. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just words fail me sometimes when I'm trying to express how wonderful it is, this world that we live in, and to realise the depth of the variety of the people who are within this lifetime with us. And it's no coincidences that any of them are there. We've all signed up for this, to come in here together to learn and to grow. Not necessarily learning lessons, but learning life skills, etc. You know, it's what we came back for many years ago, when I had, whether I could call, I thought of it in the terms of a near-death experience, but it could have been a vision that I saw. And I was floating away from planet Earth, floating away. And I knew if I kept going, I wasn't going to come back again. And I just heard the words in my head, I can't go yet, I have too much to do. And zong, I was back here in bed in the hospital. And so, you know, I feel so blessed to be now here, to be able to grow with all of the beautiful people who are around me that I'm learning from and growing from. And of course, Anaya is one of those absolutely beautiful people. And the people from Enlightened World, Ruth and Terry and Deb, you know, we're just so lucky and blessed. And you know, if you're looking for a little bit of upliftment and you're not really sure, you don't want to watch something on the television, go and look at our podcast, go and look at Enlightened World. You know, there's some absolutely amazing stuff there. So, you know, just allow all these things to happen in your life. We're just so blessed. We really are.
Absolutely. So very, very blessed. And again, the more we acknowledge those blessings through gratitude, the more those blessings, the blessings we already have, mind you, begin to reveal that we have these blessings, don't they?
Within. They're there.
Yeah. So I'm really glad we got to talk about, you know, what is a healer. For me, I like Carol Ann, I don't believe any person on this planet is a healer. Personally, I believe people are being so beautifully and wonderfully able to channel that divine healing energy. So it's, to me, it's very important. And I notice if someone claims that they are a healer or they have healed someone, that is not a person that I personally feel that I want to spend time with, because it's also about acknowledging the truth. In my opinion, this is for me only, I'm not telling you guys what to feel, but in my opinion, acknowledging the gift of that creator's energy through us, and then in turn it shows us how we can all open our heart to divine love. And as soon as we do that, boom, we start radiating healing energy as well. It's up to us to embrace that energy. And it's an incredible experience.
Yeah, it truly is. And you know, when we meditate, that energy is healing within us. There's so many things that we can do that is healing, not only ourselves, but the people who are around us, who are in our vibration. We may be channeling the energy towards them as a conduit, but, you know, just by us being in that loving place, that then flows out to everybody around us. It like ripples in the ocean, and it just changes. It's like when you go, at the moment, we're still allowed to go walking only in our neighbourhood, but we're allowed to go out to get some exercise each day. And just as you're going past someone, keeping your distance, just smile and say hello to them. And then you're sharing the love, you're sharing the healing, because you're helping them. And that 99.9% of the people that you do that to will acknowledge you and smile back at you and thank you. Yes, it's great to be out in the fresh air and have a good day, knowing we're all going to go back to our homes because we're told to stay at home, and that's what we're doing. So, there's so many opportunities all around us each and every day.
Yeah. I was walking Sam the other day down my street, and I saw, I might have even shared this with you. I share so many things. In the distance, a man with his young daughter, and she was on her scooter, and they had a dog. And so I crossed over quite early to indicate to them that, you know what, you guys stay there. You got a little girl with you. I'll cross over. It's easy for me. And as I got closer, he said, thank you. And I just said, no worries, mate. And he just went. And it was like, wow, look at this acknowledgement of, and it wasn't, to me, it wasn't an acknowledgement, oh, wow, you did a great thing by crossing over. It was thank you for the respect. I'm really grateful that you had, that you've paid respect to all of us. And that felt very amazing for me. And I came home and I was kind of, going, there are so many amazing reasons to be happy, to be able to do something so darn simple that, can indicate that show of respect for other people. And before COVID-19, we would never have even given it a second thought. I personally believe, and this is a show I think we should do, there are so many blessings I have received because of COVID-19.
Yes.
So many, and it is blowing my mind how many ways I am being blessed by what I'm experiencing right now. So that's for another show.
Another show.
This
has been great.
Yes.
Had a great conversation today.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Oh, I tell you what I taped. It was amazing. Well, you don't tape anymore. I know that's showing my age, my generation. I recorded, given there are no tapes anymore, I recorded Calamity Jane with Doris Day. I don't know. That was my favorite movie when I was about 10 or 11.
Yep.
And because she was so out there, she was really speaking about individuality. Yeah. And I saw it and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to tape that and rewatch that. So, hey, catch up with some of your old favorites.
Yep, that's it. This is the opportunity to do that. So make the most of it.
I'm making the most of it. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thank you,
Caroline. Thanks, everyone. Lots of love. Bye till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Be good to yourself today. Be good to yourself today. Okay. All right. In this moment, as we're all here together, let's place our hands on our hearts and acknowledge the privilege of spending this time together and the love and respect we have for one another and the opportunities we have to be kind to others in as many ways as we possibly can, and to remember to reach out to anyone at all, just with a simple message if someone's struggling. Doesn't matter whether you know who they are or not on Facebook, just letting you know I'm thinking good thoughts for you today is something so simple. Do that in the world today. Be kind, show kindness, grow kindness, and it's amazing what that kindness will do and grow and show in your life. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye for now. Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.